them, and then they just flip over their whole deck and then shuffle it.
Right. So, do you think these players have any idea what they're in for here?
I hope they do. I hope they don't. I want to see the look in their face when they realize it.
Me too. That should be fun. So here we go. Chrome Mox.
Michael Dye on the play.
Can we get the face cam of William Yowell? We're doing Red Elemental Blast. Wow, Stone Face. He has nothing.
Turn 1 Grindstone.
William Yowell gives away nothing there.
Now here's the question, right? If Michael Dye somehow has the turn able to go off the next turn, right? Is he gonna name red or green or any other color just so he doesn't get automatically grinded out, or just so he doesn't get Red Elemental Blast?
Well, I think it depends what else William Yowell plays.
Yeah, William Yowell has only played.
Oh,
that
William Yowell plays Painter Servant into Grindstone.
Wow, that is a risky play.
Yeah, if Michael
that is pretty daring.
If Michael Dye has a 2-mana land here or a land and a Spirit Guide, he will just win on the spot.
So it's on blue, which means that if he has a Red Elemental Blast, he can pitch a Simian Spirit Guide.
Right.
And there's no second land.
Wow.
GZP.
And Grindstone as well from William Yowell.
Yep.
I have to imagine Michael will blast this if he has it.
I imagine he will.
Yep, there it is. There's the Pyro.
And no follow-up.
Counters target blue spell.
With his own Simian Spirit Guide.
Nope.
Which he may not have.
He does have a Faithless Looting in his hand.
How much gall does it take to just to play the Painter Servant into your opponent's Grindstone?
I would never have done that there. I would not have the stones.
I just don't have it. I don't have the fortitude to do that.
No. So Great Furnace comes down. City of Traders gets sacrificed.
Faithless Looting.
William Yowell would love to draw some blasts. There's one.
There's one. And a Lotus Petal, so we can actually play the Lotus Petal.
Wow.
And have that blast back.
Yeah. Do you think he'll just blast the Grindstone right now?
I would if I was him.
I think you have to.
I definitely would.
Otherwise, you give your opponent the opportunity to
it's that, or you're going to have to kill your own,
land.
or you're going to have to kill your own Painter Servant.
Right.
So yeah.
Wow, Michael Dye reads Lotus Petal. Interesting. Pyroblast with a Grindstone.
No cards in hand, I believe.
Wow, he's empty. Painters, Top, and Great Furnace.
Man.
And now they're talking about, now they're having a good laugh about it.
Oh boy.
Welder from Michael Dye.
Welder is a big one.
That's going to be able to turn the Painter into a Lotus Petal on command, the land into a Lotus Petal on command.
Yeah, if he untaps with that, he can just turn his Chrome Mox back into a Grindstone.
Or that. Goblin Welder is a really good card in this matchup.
Goblin Welder is quite good in this matchup. Beatdown commences.
Combat step
20,
entered.
William Yowell, 19, Michael Dye.
Says go. Ooh, Recruiter drawn.
Yeah, Recruiter's good.
Still no mana, though.
What else? Does he have just a handful of Painter Servants?
I think a lot of Painters in hand right now.
Yeah, what he needs is a Faithless Looting.
Yes. Now, if I'm Michael Dye, I play that Painter Servant just so I can weld it into a Grindstone.
It looks like he does not have a Lion's Eye Diamond either.
Huh.
To be able to do that. I really like Lion's Eye Diamond in this deck.
Yeah, at least a few of them. So we'll see what Michael Dye decides on here.
It's just a staring match now. And the thing is that because it's naming blue, they both have so many Red Elemental Blasts.
Right.
Everything is just suspect. Everything is risky.
I'm really happy I'm not playing this match. Because this game can just end at any time. So fetch land for William Yowell, gets basic mountain. And he's creeping up there in mana.
He's going for it.
William Yowell has to do something pretty quickly here because that Goblin Welder will just take over the game if he doesn't.
Yeah, that guy, Goblin Welder needs to die.
Yeah. Turn your Great Furnace into a Lotus Petal. Turn your Top into a Lotus Petal.
Yeah.
Wow, Michael Dye does not end of turn Welder. I think he's maybe not familiar with how it works with
Artifact lands?
with his opponents.
Maybe not.
Things.
Maybe not.
He will weld the Chrome Mox now into a Grindstone.
Yep, so he... Oh, yep, kills it in response.
Yep, so Michael Dye down to
Exchange
0 artifacts.
cannot happen.
Nope.
Now he can't must play his own servant.
Yep, so another artifact. So next turn, if he draws a mana source, he should be able to mill his opponent out.
But it looks like William Yowell has yet another blast on top.
William Yowell playing 6 blasts. Michael Dye playing the full 8. Both players playing Blood Moon, too.
I just don't know about naming blue here. I think you almost need to name red.
As William Yowell or as Michael Dye?
As Michael Dye. But he just has no other blast in his hand.
Right.
Shut off those blasts. And there goes a blast in the welder.
William Yowell has drawn so many blasts this game. I think he's gone through 4 or 5 of them now. He doesn't have many left.
Yeah. Untaps. And Michael Dye, another blast. Blasts all around. And now we're just in this amazing game of...
Draw go somehow.
Yeah, it's... Both of them sitting there knowing they could die at any time.
Cough of the hammer. I don't think Michael Dye was expecting that one.
Are we going to blast that?
I have to think we will. There it is. There's the blast. So blast traded all around. This has to have been the most red blasts and pyroblast played in this amount of turns.
Yep. Oh, there goes Faith
Ever. Michael Dye would love to find a 2-mana land here.
Yeah,
Cast
he
that
would.
Recruiter.
That would be great.
Discards Painter. Knows they won't have any shortage of those.
Nope, and he did. He drew a City of Traders.
Wormcoil Recruiter in his hand, it looks like.
Wormcoil, probably not great right here.
No. That one's probably not what he's looking for in this matchup.
Not so much.
So Michael Dye looks like he's going to fetch up a Goblin Welder. So Welder goes to Michael Dye's hand, and he will be saying go now. That flashback Faithless looting for William Yowell. Sees a Blood Moon. Another
not so spectacular right now.
No, when both decks are built to abuse Blood Moon, it's probably not so good. And there's that top.
Yep, top is doing a lot of work this game.
Yeah, it is. Interesting that these two archetypes are the same, but so many card differences.
Yep.
They only share maybe 40 cards, including basics.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right now, Michael Dye.
It's a staring match.
Yeah.
They're just, both of them know that each person is just a grindstone away.
Both players have gone through one grindstone.
And they're just sitting there going, how? Okay. Oh, wow. Two welders. They're sitting there, how many blasts can you have? Now, Now Michael Dye is tapped out on red now, which gives William Yowell the opportunity, if he does happen to draw a grindstone.
Yep, he'll spin his top. He needs to find it.
That and a little more mana.
Yeah. And neither player has any way to avoid getting decked. Nothing they can weld in.
Nope.
Nothing like that. And
top.
Only another top for William Yowell.
And a blast.
Wow, red blast drawn.
So he just goes, you go to weld that into that Painter Servant. See what happens. Goes to weld that. If William Yowell responds, and he just packs it up.
Yep.
Doesn't have the blast.
Yep, he knows what's going on. He knows his deck's milled. He's having a good laugh about the mirror match.
Just like, wow, so
they can't believe they traveled all this way to play a Painter.
They're both going,
mirror.
I'm sorry, dude. No, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Neither one of us could have planned for this.
Yeah, how do you plan for this? How do you this is a it's a fairly well-known legacy deck, but it's so hard to put together.
Right.
You know, recruiters are so hard to find.
Yeah, not only expensive, just hard to find.
Yeah.
Not very many exist in the entire United States.
They're hard to find. Yeah, this set was never officially released in the United States.
Right.
The English cards come from, I believe, Australia, though I know that a lot of them did come here. But, you know, they're just really hard to find. It was not tournament legal when it came out, so it's not like anybody ever, you know, bought all the cards. You know, it was just a casual thing. And then I think 2004, 2005-ish,
yeah,
they were like, we're going to make all those cards legal in Magic.
All the portals legal.
Yeah, they said, you know what, those should be legal in Vintage. It doesn't, you know, or in internal formats, it doesn't matter.
Right, and back then Legacy was
makes,
just...
Yeah, it makes no sense. And, you know, then all of a sudden, you know, recruiters went from $0 to, what are they like now, 150, 200?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
250, somewhere in that range. And Imperial Seal.
Wow, Imperial
Yeah.
Seal. A one-of in Vintage decks. That is what it's used for.
How much is Imperial Seal worth?
I think 250. I'm going to check Star City,
I think it's a lot more than 250.
Well, either way, it's going nowhere but up.
Yeah, and, you know, so you had the read on those. Congratulations.
Yeah. Nice speculation. Whoa!
Yep. Currently, Imperial Seal is going for $7.99.
Jeez.
Yep.
So if you want to get into Vintage, I guess that's a little bit.
That is the English version, because the English is rarer actually than the foreign versions.
Right. The Japanese version is only $500
$500
for one Magic card. That's not called Mox.
Right.
Mox
It's also
Pearl,
pretty good
but-
EDH.
Yeah, it is.
You know, if you don't need to make any car payments.
So looking ahead to these players' sideboards, like we were saying, Michael Dye gets Leyline of Sanctity. He gets Viashino Heretic, which if you're unfamiliar with this one,
Oh, that one could be real good.
let me tell you what it does. I actually have to look it up because
Heretic, I believe it is
Heretic.
1 in a red. For a 1/2,
one,
red
two.
tap, destroy target artifact, and its controller. Red and 1, sorry, destroy target artifact, and Heretic deals damage to that artifact's controller equal to the artifact's casting cost.
right. So cost 3 for a 1/3, cost 2 to use, tap 2, kill an artifact. They take damage equal to cost.
Meanwhile, William Yowell, his big card, actually I think is Volcanic Fallout.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, it's a 1/3, so it will survive the Fallout.
Right.
Build 1/3 for 3 for 3. Volcanic Fallout kills Painter Servant.
Does it?
Painter Servant's a 1/2, right?
1/3.
Oh,
I
is it
think.
1/3?
Yeah, I think he is.
Let's look that one up. He might be a 1/3. I've never actually seen him enter combat.
These pesky 1/3s.
You're right, he is a 1/3. Man, oh man.
The 1/3 painter. Man, this guy's really pretty far above the curve. 2 for a 1/3.
2 for a 1/3.
It's like Lumen Grid Warden status right there. So,
You know, there's a lot of big cards though. Jaya's gonna be big.
Surgical Extraction out of William Yowell's sideboard.
Yeah, that one's
Actually, yeah, William Yowell has a lot to fight the welders of Michael Dye.
right.
Michael Dye could board in Leyline of the Void. I don't think that's going to be worth it solely to fight the 1/1s, the welders. I don't think that's worth it.
No,
Very macabre.
The Shattering Spree can come in. The big question for me this whole match is I think there are times when you don't name blue. I think there are times that you name red or green or whatever other color just because you want to shut off your opponent's blast, because blasters are so big. So your opponent, you know, you go to play that and your opponent thinks, oh, he's just going to name blue.
I'm not sure that's how it works, actually. I think the way it actually might work if there are 2 painters in play, one on blue, one on red, is that the cards are both blue and red.
No, the concern is that if you play the first painter, you might not name
I see.
blue because...
If you don't have any blasts.
Right, if you have no blast. Or you just, like, you're going to win if they don't blast you.
I see.
And so
that makes
you don't
perfect
set
sense.
you don't set it up. You're just like painter, you know,
Green.
name green, grindstone. You.
Yep.
Your
Still
opponent's-
works.
Your opponent's like, you meddling kids. I had all these blasts. Why didn't you name blue?
It'll be interesting to see if Yowell or Dye thinks of that, though, because it's pretty unintuitive, because you always name blue in this
Right,
deck.
because in every other deck you have all these blasts, and they're, you know, they can be a reliability in the mirror matchup. You know, if your opponent has more than you, you know, if you have mana, you've got a grindstone out. You're playing a Painter Servant, and you have the ability to pay 3 mana.
Yeah, why name blue?
Name a different color. That way those blasts can't do anything. But those have to come up. You know, that has to come up, and I don't know who will. It's
I could definitely see it coming up. Both players do have a lot of cards to sideboard out. Blood Moons will be the first cards to go. Magus of the Moons also. Wormcoil Engine for Michael Dye. Koth of the Hammer might come out for William Yowell. It'll be interesting to see how the players sideboard.
They're interesting.
all the moon effects, though, automatic cuts for both players.
Right, and looking at their decks, Yowell is the only one that has Lotus Petal.
Huh. Four Lotus Petal versus
Lotus
Michael
Petal.
Dye's 0.
Right, Michael Dye is playing Chrome Moxes.
Yeah,
So-
full 4 Chrome Mox, too.
Little, there's these little differences in these decks.
Yep, both 0 mana sources, but just a little different.
If you can just go off, I guess you just don't name blue.
Right. So we'll see if William Yowell can come back here on the play. It should certainly help.
Overall, I think I like Lotus Petal more in this mirror.
In the mirror, I think so too. Game 1.
There is the risk of getting welded out,
Right.
but I guess that also exists. I guess it actually might be worse than Chrome Mox. They just wall out your Chrome Mox.
Game 1, Chrome Mox is probably better because you have so many moon effects to exile.
Yeah.
Game 2, though, you're probably right. That Lotus Petal's better. So William Yowell going to 6 cards. Michael Dye happy with his 7.
How important is mulliganing in this matchup?
I don't think it really matters how many cards you have.
See, I think it's huge. I think that because the combo needs enough so many cards, that I think that might actually be a really big thing is mulliganing.
It might just be an attrition war with these blasts, as it was the first game.
Well, it was only an attrition war because William Yowell named blue.
Right.
If Michael Dye had played his Painter Servant first and named a different color, then all the blasts just do nothing.
That's true.
And there's really no way to stop Painter Servant at instant speed.
So, if you're either of these players, do you side out any Painter Servants?
No.
No?
No, I don't
Really?
think so. I don't think you can rely on your opponent to do it for you, and I think that you have to. I think the way you win this is going to be through Painter Servant. As you know, it's a matter of Painter Servant not naming blue and getting in a position where you can do that. And a Tormod's Crypt from William Yowell, as well as a top.
Yep.
Michael Dye has a Mountain and a Goblin Welder.
Yep. I definitely like the player's chances who has the Welder here. Welder is just such a powerful
That is a
card.
foil welder.
Oh my.
Foil welders are very nice. But I can't tell if it's a DCI foil or a pack foil.
Looks like DCI.
Not as nice as pack foil.
Those used to be the most expensive foil that existed.
Yeah, it used to be I think 400.
Some crazy amount.
Something absurd. It was just so hard to get those foils.
Yeah, the print run on foils from Urza's Legacy was just so bizarre.
It was a little bit low. It was the rates were a little lower than they are now.
Yeah. Sometimes also you just got a pack that was all foil in that set.
I heard about that. I never saw one.
I remember seeing one. We saw one get opened. That was one of the first events I ever went to at a store. And I thought Magic was awesome at that point.
All right, 2 tops, and he is searching with both. He plays the City of Traders, or plays a Mountain, Sack City of Traders, pops top, plays Imperial Recruiter.
Shuffles away that top. What only needs 1 this game.
That's all you really ever need.
Right. Interesting. William Yowell choosing 3 tops. Michael Dye 0.
Yeah. Again, there's these little differences. But, the difference again, William Yowell playing fetch lands, Michael Dye not.
Right. Only 3 of them.
Despite really being about the same deck, they're just that much different.
Yeah, there are a lot of differences. So, Imperial Recruiter fetches up Phyrexian Revoker. And that will assuredly name Goblin Welder. He will need a turn to get that into play, though. Michael Dye will have 1 turn of welding before that happens.
If there's anything he can weld.
Right. At this time, there's not.
He sticks his tongue out, I believe, to imply that that was not the card he wanted to draw. I believe it's the universal sign for that.
Right.
I could be wrong.
Well, that's what I mean when I stick my tongue out.
Oh. And Welder and Imperial Recruiter trade.
Wow.
And another Recruiter. Now, what is he going to get? That is the question. Is he going to get a...
Will it grind?
Will it
That is the question.
Will it grind?
Now, Imperial Recruiter out of stock at Star City for 300.
Yep, hard card to get.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's good. It's great in this deck. It's great in Alurin. Both decks very hard to actually get the cards for.
Solemn Simulacrum. Wow. So is Michael Dye on the beatdown plan here?
He just might be. His 1-0 Solemn.
So Michael Dye, Solomon Standard,
His plan
Solomon Legacy.
might just be to get, get up to, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, get up to 6.
A curve all the way up to 6. That's
Yeah.
what he said in the winner's interview, right?
Hey, it's a plan.
Yep.
You got to have a plan.
Solomon Wormcoil are the 2 cards that are in common between his Legacy deck and his Standard deck.
Reading Tormod's script and making sure it works the way he thinks it does.
It does.
I imagine there's not a lot of ways to confuse that card.
So Ancient Tomb's tapped.
Pretty common.
Yep. William Yowell down to 17.
Ancient Tomb taps so he can spin the top.
Yep, and those are not 3 good ones. We have Spellskite, City of Traders Ancient Tomb.
Spellskite not able to redirect Grindstone, unfortunately.
Nope.
And William Yowell has all of its mana acceleration and just no actual combo.
Yeah, no. It looks like no more shuffle effects either.
Yeah, so he passes back.
Yep, doesn't play the Revoker. Looks like he wants to save that for something else. Wants to see who draws the first Grindstone before he decides.
I think it's probably a good move.
Yeah, you do run the risk of just dying from it, but you would also feel pretty silly if you locked yourself out of winning.
That is very true. Solemn comes out, gets a mountain.
And we'll see if Michael Dye kept in Wormcoil Engine.
Ooh. You have to have it in his hand, though.
Yeah, he would, and is only one of.
Yeah.
Imperial Recruiter can't tutor that one up.
A little bigger than, a little bigger. A little too big. Power greater than 2. Yeah, no. I think Wormcoil has that.
Just by a little bit.
And in comes the Recruiter.
The beats commence.
Taking him down to 16.
When I played Alurin, I definitely killed people with Imperial Recruiter beats.
That does happen occasionally.
Had some help with Dreamstalker, stuff like that, but
William Yowell helping Michael Dye out by tapping his City of, Ancient Tomb. Going to 15.
Spellskite's a stopper. It's a game changer. Stop that Solemn dead in its tracks.
Looks like there's a Grindstone.
Yeah.
Now the question, does he have a Painter Servant? He has the mana.
Well, he didn't fetch one up with that Recruiter.
No, he did not.
I see
a Heretic. I see
Simian Spirit Guide. That recently drawn Grindstone, but the other cards are a mystery. Oh boy.
Simian Spirit Guide. He is going full beatdown.
It's going to be that kind of game.
And a Grindstone. Yep, and it looks like 2 Chrome Moxes. Ooh.
Huh. So William Yowell, end of turn, uses his top, sees a Magus of the Moon. He'll put that one on top just to trade with the Simian. Oh, no, he won't.
And Revoker is probably going to name Grindstone here.
Yeah, I think it has to.
And that's going to make it real hard for Michael Dye to actually grind him out. He's got to get through that Spellskite first. I might have held that Grindstone.
Wow, he's taking a lot of damage from his Ancient Tombs here.
He is.
He's down to 9 life.
Maybe Michael Dye will just be able to get enough in.
I think he might. One more creature will, well, if he ever draws another Imperial Recruiter, he'll be able to Recruiter for Recruiter for Recruiter.
Well, and the Heretic
yeah.
is going to get pretty relevant too.
That's big.
It's real big.
Now it looks like they're just having a little staring contest. I think that Michael Dye can still attack, can't he?
I think you might just pass. I mean, I think that what are the odds that that William Yowell draws the ability to just grindstone you out?
Very small. If the Revoker's on Grindstone.
Well, exactly. If you attack and he blocks the Revoker, it's a little bit higher chance of that.
That's true. I guess Michael Dye thinks his chances are so high this game with that Viashino in play that
that Viashino is a real powerhouse.
Yeah. First it'll kill Spellskite. Then it'll move right on down the line.
And again, it deals damage. And William Yowell going to 7
for a Magus.
For a Magus of the Moon.
So all these blockers, they're fine, but wow, and he just keeps tapping that Ancient Tomb.
Well, yeah, the Magus of the Moon.
Oh, right.
Keeps him from actually losing any life.
Yeah, and you know he's had a City of Traders available on top of his deck this entire time. If he had just had one of those instead of an Ancient Tomb, he would still be at like 15 life.
More life. And now the Heretic becomes active.
Ooh, and a
And
recruiter's
it's going to
drawn.
be real hard for William Yowell to be an active heretic.
Yeah. Michael Dye this turn will probably use Heretic, keep that mana up, recruiter for recruiter.
I think you just recruit for Painter Servant. Now you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't have enough to actually grind them out, but you can just getting spell. Oh, he's actually targeting the.
Did he target Revoker?
I think target Revoker. I mean, if he's going to use it, he's got to either sacrifice a Lotus Pellet or pay 2 life.
Right. I'm not sure I like that main phase. That opens him up to just dying, I think.
Yeah, I would have waited till my own next turn, personally.
Either way,
I would
though.
have paid the recruiter, gotten my own Painter Servant, and then just waited till next turn to do that.
Right.
But hey, it's just me. What's that die?
Yep. So William Yowell down to 5.
You might have a combat here. Bring in your 2/2/2s.
Yeah, I think that's fine. The Spirit Guides will be forced to trade with each other.
Yeah, yeah. He does want to keep that Magus into play because all of a sudden those Ancient Tombs are looking pretty scary for him.
Yeah, on 5
He's not want to
lives.
just die to those.
Now the recruiter will come out, and yep, it looks like it will fetch a Painter. After Michael Dye kills that Revoker there.
And it's getting up to being William Yowell's turn. What can he draw to get out of this? It looks like he drew a top. He's going to spin top and see what's there. I don't see anything helpful.
No, I think we have a Painter there, but
Looks like a Targon Dragon Lord, but that's not nearly fast enough this match.
no, that would have been good earlier in this game.
It would be great.
Looks like William Yowell, he was explaining where this game went wrong.
Cuts Michael Dye's deck after that search.
And yeah, William Yowell only with 2 Red Blasts in hand. Needs Michael Dye to name blue on his Painter. That's the only way he can stay alive here.
I don't think Michael Dye got a Painter. I think he got another hair.
Oh, he did.
I didn't see a Painter in his hand. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I didn't see what he searched for. Either way, he'll be able to win this game via beatdown or combo. I think he has both options available to him now. He can just turn all his creatures sideways for a few more turns.
Yeah. That's going to do it.
Yep, so
He's
they
gonna draw a
trade.
card, go down to 3.
And now his
But-
Ancient Tombs.
Yeah, Ancient Tombs are alive again.
Michael Dye just with a ton of cards in hand here. Strange to say, in this Legacy Mono Red Mirror, that Solemn really pulled him ahead.
And that is going to kill the Ancient Tomb. Or the City of Traders, rather. And plays a Magus. So he is at 1, facing down 3 creatures. I just, yeah. I don't see it.
No, it doesn't look like William Yowell has anything he can draw here. Especially since he knows the top of his deck.
Right.
Michael Dye keeps 1 up for a blast, just in case.
William Yowell looks like he's spinning the top 1 last time for good, for old time's sake.
Posterity.
Yeah.
And yeah, shows his hand of Blast, Kargan. So a
And
crazy
that's game,
match.
yeah.
Michael
Crazy.
Dye, our standard champion, takes it down. You know, it's really hard to tell what the real difference maker in that game was.
I don't know.
It didn't seem like either player really did anything.
No, they just sort of both sat there and
Yeah, it was
terrified of losing to getting grinded out, and they somehow managed to, kill with the worst possible creatures that you can cast in Legacy.
Yeah, and I really thought that that's